Hello and welcome to Arcade Couch, the best place to chill with friends and get your gaming goodness each and every Monday. My name's Dylan Blight. Joining me on the couch this week, Ashley Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here. I haven't got a bit.
Haven't got a bit? You're a bitless Hobley.
At least
It's a sad bitless
I'm
Hobley.
a bit here.
Very good. Diving first, I've been playing Splatoon Raiders. This is the single player spin-off, I guess we're calling it. Entry into the Splatoon universe, if that's what we're calling it. It's basically it feels and plays exactly like Splatoon, but has a story and narrative elements, and there's still you can play a lot of it still with other people online or split screen and whatever else. So I'm enjoying it a lot. It stars like the what are they? They're like the TV, the presenters. I mean, I've played a little bit of the last one and whatever, but I mean, I'm not super versed in Splatoon or remember the characters' names, but it stars like the trio of these, like in the clips and stuff in the Splatoon games who like do the hosting and news presenting of stuff. And at the start of the game, they're like in a helicopter and they're like looking for treasure and treasure hunting, and then their helicopter crashes and they're just sort of stranded in this area, and then somehow your character turns up. They're the mechanic. That's their role, and that's who you will play as. And you basically go on these. Each level is called a raid, and you're going to look to hunt down and find treasure. And as you progress, similar to the other three Splatoon games, you will be unlocking different types of weapons, and then you can upgrade those, and then you also get 3 different types of the backpacks or tube thing. Anyway, I'm going to call them backpacks, which you can also upgrade and attach different like skill points and stuff and how they play. So this is sort of a element of change to the Splatoon game. So the core shooting mechanic and that sort of stuff, it runs the same, where you shoot. You fill the ground with ink. If your ink's there, you can dive into that in squid form and get around. As you're playing through the levels, you need to make sure that you're both shooting the enemies and also have enough ink around you that you need to dive into to refill your ammo, basically. And then also get around behind enemies, escape enemies, all that sort of stuff. So you got to make sure you're mixing and managing filling ink and also shooting enemies and getting around. Then you get the backpack things which activate different was it Z1? I don't know, R1, whatever, button on the controller, and that triggers a different ability. So it's like one of them sets out like a turret gun, the other one does a melee 2 combo slash attack, and then the other one does like a dive that you can use to either dive into enemies or use it tactically to get away. So I guess it's like the melee slash one, you can build that out to be more of a aggressive play style. You get right in the fray and attack enemies head on. The turret one is obviously more you're playing further back, passive, and then I take that one as sort of a middle ground because you can use it either to get in enemies' faces or tactically escape. So it's sort of a meet in the middle of everything that's happening there. And then you also bring with you on each mission, and you can change who you want to do. And also has a bond meter, although I haven't, in the time I've played so far, I haven't filled up or unlocked. It has like 3 little question marks above the 3 other characters, like the TV star host. You can bring one of them into each mission with you, and then there is a bond meter, although I haven't seen how that plays out at all so far.
It does yet.
I haven't figured out
You're
what that does.
romancing them?
I'm not. I don't think I'm romancing them. No. But like each of them come in the same vehicle to each mission, which is like I don't know, like a little tactical hub thing or whatever. And they'll roam around shooting enemies as an AI companion, and that sort of plays out the same. You can also jump on top of it and trigger a double jump into the air to get around, escape enemies, shoot from above, sort of however you want to do it. But then they also have a special meter that you build up, but the special attack is different for all 3 characters. So it's like the Manta Ray character is my favorite one so far, because when you activate his, you jump on the back and then you like spam the LR buttons and just like spams attacks everywhere. Whereas like one of the other ones, their special attack is like it summons this giant. They each have a different sea creature that they summon basically, other than the Manta Ray character, because he's already a sea creature. But one of them, like for instance, can summon a shark. But when you activate theirs, you sort of have to aim it, and it does a shit ton of damage in like a direct path. Or if you're fighting a boss enemy, it's like you aim it directly at the boss. But if you fuck it up and miss, obviously, it's a complete waste of a attack. Between missions, you're going back to this like home base. It's like a floating ship, I guess. It's a ship that they're sort of built out around. You can roam around that. There's like a little training area. You can try out the different guns and stuff that you can try between, because it's like if like your core, you have like a core sort of machine gun sort of thing. It's probably the easiest thing to use in Splatoon. But then a lot of the other weaponry, and a lot of stuff that you'll see people that, in esports matches or whatever, Splatoon 3, there's different reasons that people are good at these weapons and stuff that I just don't like using them, because I'm like, these are too complicated. But it's like one's an umbrella, for example. It's like you can, or like another one's like a paintbrush roll. So it's like you hold down a button. It's like you're constantly pushing paint in front of you, but then you got like tap it for melee attacks every time. And like the umbrella, sort of like a shotgun, I guess. Or like pew pew pews in front of you. But then you can also hold down the button to like use it as a shield. And then if you hold it down for like, I don't know, 5-6 seconds, whatever, and then sends the umbrella like flying out in the path in front of you with ink, and will do damage to stuff it hits. So there's a bunch of different weapons and stuff. And then before, you don't have to dive into a mission to try them out, which is nice. So you can mess around on the ship. And there's also a weird mini game on the ship where you can, if you go up to the top area, you can click on like the ship's controls, and then you can control a like a grabby arm thing that floats out in front of the ocean. And then you got to do like basically it's like the claw game, to grab like toys, kind of like that, but you're trying to grab like crates that are flying past the ship, and then you can get them back if you want to kill some time doing that. I don't know. If you get it, I don't know. So far, it gives me resources that you get from also completing missions that you can then use to upgrade guns, upgrade the ship. Like you slowly start with nothing, but then it's like if you get enough resources, you buy an upgrade to the ship that gives you like a weapon upgrade table, another table to upgrade your backpack thing, another table to do, like you're slowly like unlocking the ability to do other things. You unlock different costumes and stuff for your characters. You're going like there's a lot sort of happening. I thought it was good also that so each level, if you fail it, you still keep resources and your character will level up and stuff. But then it's like each raid level has a recommended level that you're meant to do it at. But then at certain times, there's like split paths of these islands that you're sort of tracking across. And it's like you could try this mission first, or this one, or this one. So if one's a bit too hard, you could go over and try this one. And you also reach a stage in the game where it says, you can now go back and replay some of the other missions at like a harder difficulty to unlock better rewards for doing them. And then you also have a thing where if you're doing bad at any of the levels, you can click a button to call for help, and then random players can come join you on it to play that way. Or once you've defeated the game's first big boss battle, you unlock the ability to join those yourself. So you just like, click a button and it'll search for anyone that's calling for help, and you can go join their mission.
Yep.
If you're successful, you unlock sort of rare resources, I guess, that you can then use and stuff like that. So it's sort of nice to just jump into random people's games as well. I did that a couple times just to see where it would take me and how it would play, because then you just get to play co-op, I guess, basically. So
yeah.
What else? The story's fine. Well, I mean, it's Splatoon. I know there's some mystical fog thing that's off in the distance that's causing all these issues. And it's like you're slowly unraveling the mystery towards that. After the first big boss fight, you get like some ancient artifact it's all tying towards singing or some music so far, or something. I don't know. I'm not paying a lot of attention so far, to be completely honest, or seeing where it's going. But I'm enjoying playing the game because it's it's Splatoon. It's like the characters are fun, they're quirky, the world's always been sort of interesting, the Inklings and stuff like that. And it's always been like this thing with the Splatoon games where it's like, man, a single player component would be sort of fun for these if you don't want to just dive straight into the multiplayer all the time. And although Splatoon 3 had some single player stuff that you could do. It wasn't like a fully fledged thing. So obviously that's what this is. Still with the option to play it in co-op if you want to. You can have other players. You can have someone join your game. You can play it split screen. You can jump into other people's games. So you can still get like that element of that you would get from other games by playing with other people. But and it plays really, really well on Switch too. Obviously, it's it's running at 60 frames and feels really good for a shooter, Nintendo shooter, if whatever we're calling it this way. And yeah, I mean, it gets hectic at times. It's good, you're shooting these things. I can't remember the enemies' names, to be completely honest. They're all a certain type of whatever creature type that they're called. But there's like sometimes there seems to be, I don't know, 20, 30 enemies on screen in some of these levels. You're shooting them, there's ink going everywhere, they're exploding, they're leaving behind their little egg things that you have to pick up and as a resource and whatever. There's a lot going on. I'm quite enjoying it so far. Biggest complaint would be some of the levels. I mean, if you're playing certain ones in a row, they can feel rather samey, like from a level design perspective. Like there's some levels that you're sort of traversing. You're like going through it like what do we want to call, like a more typical 3D platformer level sort of design ish, where you're like going across different things. You kill the enemies there. You look around a bit. You can find sort of slightly off the path things to look at, but at least it's like looks a bit different. And then there's other levels where you're just going like you pretty much like spawn into a room, but you're like drilling down. So it'll be like level 1, and then you like clear all the enemies, then automatically moves you to like level 2. You drill down, so it's not like you're walking through. You're sort of just being taken between different rooms. And the other thing I'll say is I'm both enjoying the music, but then also found that this one song that I was quite enjoying that played after like replaying a couple levels in a row. I was like, oh man, the same song's now playing. Like I'm like, I like this song, but also it was playing so much across a few different groups. And I'm like, I wish they had like another 2 or 3 songs that they could cycle through here, because I was like, now I'm beginning to not like the song because I'm hearing it playing in the background too much. But yeah, overall, Splatoon Raiders has been a fun time, and I'll continue to play that.
Do you feel like you'd be better at Splatoon now having played this?
No, because people are still doing this thing where they're like, they're quick. I just don't know how people do some stuff in that game where it's like they're quickly, shooting the ink up the walls, and they're doing this, and then you press the button at the right time, and they dive off the ledge, and they're doing all this. I mean, I enjoyed playing it, but
helping you figure out how to do that.
Not so far. Like there are things where you go up a bit. I don't know. Plus, also, I don't know. There's just the whole meta stuff that I never could, completely work for. I enjoyed playing Splatoon 3. I played a little bit of Splatoon 2, not a lot, but then Splatoon 3, I played the most of it out of any of them. I never played Splatoon 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's never going to make me a pro Splatoon esports player, but I'm enjoying it.
No, but do you think this is like a gateway drug into,
I feel like it could be, because someone could play this and maybe have not considered playing Splatoon because it's just, like, oh, it's online multiplayer only thing. Maybe I don't care for that. But then maybe someone picks this up and then enjoys the combat or the, the loop or the way the guns and the ink and all that sort of stuff works. And maybe that makes them want to go check out Splatoon 3 or 4 when we get that or whatnot. So it could be a gateway drug, I guess, into this.
Surely a 4 is not far away. Like,
it's been a while since 3, so you'd think.
So it's weird that this franchise is like one of the most regularly released ones in Nintendo's repertoire.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like the first one.
Well, it's a big new franchise, I guess.
Yeah, a new IP they've done in recent memory that's done well.
Yeah.
I think the moral to that story is I don't think 1 was like a huge success because of the platform it was on, or at least out for getting things. But I think that's the moral to the story maybe was they stuck with it and did 2, and then 3, obviously. So they're like,
I mean, that's the thing. You need to. It helps if you put out a sequel for something.
Yeah, or at least if you believe. But I mean, obviously the first one was on Wii U, so I mean that was just a problem of like how many people were playing the Wii U we talk about, and it came out like towards the end of its. I think towards it. No, it might have been like within its first couple of years. I think Wii U was like 2012. This came out like 15, 16.
Yeah, the first one came out in 2015. 2 came out 2017.
Yeah, so
then 3 came out in 2022.
They took a while, but it's like they turned the second one around pretty fast, I think, because
the Switch was more of a success.
Switch was more a success. Yeah. Yeah. So we shall see. You or your brother who plays the Switch never played any
like
games?
dabbled, like maybe like I don't know, free weekend or at,
Yeah.
you know, a trade place. Maybe at like PAX or something like that. Maybe played some, but yeah, I'm like you. I can't get a handle on the ink and moving around and stuff. You just end up in the middle of the enemy.
Yeah.
Covered, and then you're dead.
Yeah. Would you play this if, taking out the fact you have to buy the game, but
Yeah,
in general, would you have
bit of a
interest
hurdle,
in playing this?
I mean, I'd give it a go.
Yeah. All right, let's get into some news for the week, starting with the big PlayStation story. So, reading from Eurogamer, God of War Laufey will release 16th of February 2027. Confirmation came via a fresh announcement earlier today, Saturday 25th of July, at San Diego Comic-Con and social media, which confirmed that we will be able to enter the afterlife of the gods when Laufey launches on PS5 in February next year. Cory Barlog said in the panel that it wants to show an extension of this world where the characters you'll encounter are unexpected. Laufey is a continuation of what came before and to prepare and expand what comes next. Got a blah, 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 and then the FYI, it's going to get disc because of the date, and also they confirmed that the next game after that will be a Kratos-centered starring game as well, is yet to come. So pretty much to me, the confirmation that the next one's starring Kratos and putting that information out there is just to shut up all the people complaining about. Yeah, because there's no need to get that information out there or even talk about the game that's to come after Laufey at all at this stage, other than to put it out there to shut people up. So it's sort of sad that we even have to do that because people are complaining about this.
Well, they wanted to put out some good, some good press. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's sort of sad that they have to do that as well. And then, of course, people, because of the date and what Sony said about the discs, this will be the last God of War game that you can get on disc. So that was the other thing. But the date's good to know. I mean, it's interesting to me they waited. Like, obviously, the game was only revealed a month ago, and then they waited a month to stick a... Because the trailer, the reveal, as much as gameplay as they showed, obviously it was like, had everyone, including us, being like, man, it can't be that far away, considering how much they showed.
Yeah, it would have been like just over a month or so.
Yeah, like obviously not far away.
Well,
but
I guess June.
Even that gameplay reveal didn't have anything at the end that even said like 2027 or anything. So to go from nothing to here's the date
to it being the next title, big PlayStation Studios title after Wolverine.
Yeah,
that's a big jump forward.
Big jump forward.
I don't think many people would have expected, but knowing what we know about the development of this game and that it's been in for the works for like 5+ years, it makes sense. It's just funny, that it's leapfrog some other stuff that we know is down the pike.
But it's good though. Like obviously we've talked about before, that slot is sort of a big Sony slot to fit in the early year one. Can be. I mean, Last of Us and stuff fell in that later. Slot.
Yeah.
The earlier slot. They usually have 3 slots in the year. This early one and then the September one, or they usually have the early one and the late one are the big slots, and then they've usually got that mid, June, July or whatever. That's sort of the mid-tier release. It seems to be their structure. So it's good to know that, because we were talking about, I think only a couple weeks ago, that we currently did not know after Wolverine what was going to fit into that next slot, So at least now we know.
Yeah.
Then the question is going to be what fits into that June, July, and the September slot next year. I mean, ideal world, I guess everyone's going to start theorizing that, Naughty Dog can pull something out of their ass to come around for September next year. But I mean, I'm doubtful. So I don't know. What do you think?
It's hard to say. Yeah, I mean, what I was just quickly looking up is like, what have we got in February next year? Because I feel like we had a couple of things announced already. And February 12th is Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, which is the remake. February 18th is Persona 4 Revival.
Mm.
Then February 23rd is Fable. So
big one, yeah.
A pretty big one. Feels potentially very similar. Like weirdly,
do you think so?
I don't know. Like the marketing of that with like big female characters and that kind of thing. So in a fantasy world,
I guess I don't agree.
I think they're going to be pretty different, but
I mean, they're both big IPs
RPG-ish,
that
yeah.
they're big IPs associated to their brands. I guess is the main thing. Like God of War is highly associated to PlayStation, Fable's very associated to Xbox. However, they're both very different because this new Fable game's nothing like any of the other Fables. Doesn't have Peter Molyneux involved, all these other factors. Like it's basically a big new thing. And then we're also getting a brand new God of War game with the but it's also not Kratos, you know. So.
So very different protagonists.
There are a lot of very different coming across. Good though, excited. Can look forward to February. If everyone's done playing the 16 million games releasing in September, October, and then GTA in November, of course. Let's talk about what games are coming out in August, though. I was thinking the other day. I am not looking forward to doing these lists for the next couple of months. Is what I was thinking.
You can start prepping. You already know a lot of the dates. You might have to start.
To be honest, I might. It's not a bad idea. I might just draft the article and then double check it
when things are announced. Yeah, just drop stuff in.
Yeah, because I mean, these articles usually take a little bit to go through and add in our trailers. I'm not saying obviously there's a lot of editorial work. It's just me posting trailers and fucking synopsis.
It's just grunt work.
It's just grunt work, but I'm still
finding the trailers, finding descriptions.
Yeah, it's grunt work, but it's grunt work that I was thinking about while doing this one for August. That I was like, man, the grunt work involved in the next 2 months is dumb. And then the grunt work in November will be like, man, there's only 3 games out. Hey, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
So at least I've got a big uphill, but then
one article's 100 megabytes. The other one's like 5.
Yeah. Wow. All right, let's go through it. Stop me on anything that's of interest to talk about. August 1st, Fair Travel Battle CGG. I'll say this one, because obviously sometimes when I'm going through these and I just find random stuff that piques my interest and then I add it to the article. This is like it's like a trading card game, like a fully original one. Intriguing. Because obviously the big thing of card games is people usually only play ones with IP and known things associated to them. And that's what brings them into the thing. But I mean, generally, it looks quite good. I mean, I don't know, lots of elements, but so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Ocean Divers, Cultural Early Access.
Divers, I should say.
Ocean Survivors. Sorry,
I said Ocean Divers.
Oh yeah, my bad. Corsair Cove. Sorry, something fucked up there. Elder's KO. This looks very funny, by the way. I found this. It's a game where you go a bunch of old people fighting each other with weapons. Titan Force comes to early access. August 4th, we get Anomaly President. Beast of Reincarnation comes out. That is, of course, the Game Freak Pokemon developers' third-person action game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll get around to playing this at all. Probably not, but I'm intrigued to see.
Game Pass, so that's
I cancelled my Game Pass. What are we talking about?
Ooh.
Shit was too expensive. Thanks, Phil. I
don't think.
I'm intrigued. No, I don't know, but it's down now. I know the prices come back, but because I got rid of Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Call of Duty tax. But I'm intrigued to see the reviews and everything for this one, for sure. Just to see how all this comes out. August 5th, Fields of Mysteria gets its early access release. 1.0 launch. It's been in early access. The Big Walk comes out. Of course, we're excited to play this one. It's the brand new game by House, the Untitled Goose Game developers, in which you go on a big walk.
Big walk, I believe, yeah.
On a big walk.
I believe this one's coming to PS Plus. Was the announcement they made?
Yeah, PS Plus. Yeah, day one. So
so that's easy.
Or PS Plus Extra or whatever the second tier I think is, not the base one.
Yeah,
not the base one. But yeah, big. Actually, this month's pretty good for Australian games. There's a couple in here. So shout out.
There's a couple of big ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go. August is a good month for Australian game releases. So that's good to see. Cat Chaos, August 6th, Pack My Order. Lockdown comes to 1.0 out of early access. The Syndicate Classified Operations, August 7th, Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls comes out. Pin in that, I want to loop back in a minute after we're done for this, because I saw that you at least played something or played tutorial. I don't know, at least saw that you booted it up, and I played a little bit of the beta, so we can loop back to that, talk about it. And of course, at the same date, the PlayStation Flex Strike Wireless Fight Stick releases.
I thought this got delayed.
Oh, well, not by when I was looking the other day. It still said it was released, and maybe got delayed afterwards. If not, too bad. Article's out of date. Pre-order it now if it's delayed. Worship Demon comes out. Cappy Castaway plays a capybara. Liza P Complete Edition comes to Nintendo Switch 2. Iron Nest Heavy Turret Simulator. Montabi comes out. August 8th, Dark of the Depths horror game. Grain Rot, another co-op horror game. August 10th, The Money Pit, which is a weird game in which you are starring in a television show. A game about penguins comes out. It's a game about penguins. Iron Blight, August 11th. August 11th, Grounded 2 Into the Abyss, the next big update to Grounded 2 releases. Okay. Also worth noting that this is when Grounded 2 will be coming to PlayStation 5 as well. FYI. Rift Storm also releases. August 12th, Tiny Monster Haven. No visitors allowed. Luminary comes to early access. Body Cam Dead Split. Agent 64 Spies Never Die. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remaster comes to Nintendo Switch 2. August 13th, Dash and Drop. Pro-Jank Footy. Another big Australian developed game release there. Of course, it is I don't know how to describe it. It's a throwback sort of NBA Jam sort of inspired thing, but with AFL. However, there are a shit ton of power-ups and odd shit happening at all points in the game. And it's not really like playing AFL at all, but it is AFL.
Yeah. The rules of AFL, but with NBA Jam-esque. It's a chaos, I believe. Yeah. Just a bunch of chaos.
It is a chaos. It's very simple, like as far as button inputs and stuff go, to the point that like the first time I ever played it was in an arcade machine. Well, not at PAX. I played it at what's the other thing called? Parallel Lives, the event thing. That's where I first played it. But yeah, I had that arcade machine set up there for it, so that was cool. Servant of the Lake comes out as well. Agefield High Rock, The School, Defender of the Crown, Legend Returns, Dusk Fade, Memoriam, Deadlock Station, Khan on the Trail Deep War. This is a free DLC for Khan if you'd like to play some more of the rock climbing game. August 14th, Hellless Vietnam comes out. Madden NFL 27, Sandustry. Mafia the Old Country Man of Honor comes out. That's the new DLC / expansion to that or whatever, in which you'll be meeting... I can't remember the character's name. I don't know if it's
the guy from Mafia 1.
The guy from Mafia 1. Yeah, that's the easiest explanation. Defender of the Crown, The Legend Returns, Wild Blue Skies. August 15th, Dino, The Dance Party. August 18th, Feed It, Twisted Tower. Wrecker comes out at early access finally. This is a witch game. I played a little bit of the demo and stuff. Yeah, the Boogie game. It's coming out at early access now. Entropy enters early access. August 19th, The Sinking City 2 releases. August 20th, Rim Tales, Peng Pong. August 21st, Gallipoli. Yes, that game we talked about a little while ago. I was like, what the fuck is this Nicholas Pry sounding shenanigans? Room Balls, Papageist. Mortal Shell 2 comes out. The Souls-like sort of whatever. The Witch's Bakery. August 22nd, Cappy Stream Rise to Fame. That's right, there are 2 Capybara games releasing in August.
And you chose to highlight both of them because...
I chose to highlight both of them. August 24th, Snap the Cat. Also highlighted both the random cat games I could find. August 26th, Portrait Painter. This looks funny. Actually, I watched it when I found this. I was like, it's a game we just could draw funny, weird pictures and art and shit like that. It looks kind of weird. Shut up. Little Chef Cozy Cooking comes out at early access. Box Night releases, another Australian game. Played this at PAX, what feels like 10 years ago. Very, very long time ago, but that is now finally releasing. It is like it's like Castle Crashers, but roguelike. I don't know. Sort of
Yeah, it's a beat 'em up.
Yeah, it's a beat 'em up, but roguelike.
Yeah. So very exciting, very cool art style and that kind of stuff. So keen to see this finally come to fruition.
Yeah, you came for this? I mean, you like these sorts of games. So.
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember there being much of a roguelike element to it.
No, that's been added. The first time we played it, it was like level design.
Streets of Rage or whatever.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
This is, so to see them add that element, I like the theming of it from memory of like it being like this office setting that you have to fight your way through and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like these monsters take over the office, and you got to fight from like floor 1 to 60 or whatever, where the end boss will be at the top. August 27th, Folk, we are merging. Brigadine Abyss, Make My Sandwich, Culinoro. August 28th, Agalos 2, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection 2. That's the one that has Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots and Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, amongst some other tidbits. Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy. This is the Plague Tale spin-off game with one of the characters that are in Plague Tale Resonance, and it's set about 10 years before that game. Mm-hmm. Star Wars Zero Company is releasing the tactical XCOM inspired, whatever we're calling it, Star Wars Clone Wars game. You keen for this one?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, haven't watched the most recent trailers, but I saw like a cast announcement, and Vic Michaelis is voicing one of the characters, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, that's my jam. Those kind of tactical turn-based games. So, very intrigued.
They got a bunch of the Clone Wars cast back in it too. It's like D. Bradley Baker, Matt Lautner.
I saw Anakin's in it, that kind of stuff. So,
yeah. Captain Tsubasa 2 World Fighters, Luz Lagoon, Venture Reveal Akira for Sorrow. Sorry, I froze for a second. August 29th, Elden Ring Tarnished Edition comes to Nintendo Switch 2. And then as TBCs for August is the Pokemon Poco Big Expansion Path Part 1 Bubbly Basin, which in the last direct simply said August, but we don't have a date for yet. And then Colorbound, which also just has a August thing so far, but is a cool looking indie game in which you have to change the colors of things to interact with the world in like a side-scrolling platformer vibe. All right, amongst all of that, what excites you the most? I'm going to assume Star Wars and Marvel.
Star Wars and I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. We'll just say Star Wars for now.
What about you? Let me just. I'll do what I usually do, which is forget everything. Even though I just read through the list, I'm just going to quickly scroll all the way down through it again. So I'm going to go Big Walk. Maybe the Cappy games in a world where I could have time to play them because I just love. I do love some Capybara shenanigans. This Montabi game, I played the demo for. Interesting because you like capture creatures. It's like Pokemon inspired and that, but you're capturing them, and then you're doing like battles. But then it's like a card game. So I'll give that a shout out. It's just I like the art style. And then it's probably just other stuff I think. Project Footy. Well, all of Aussie games. Let's Project Footy and fucking
Box Night and
that, and then Star Wars, Sinking City 2 in a world where I had more time. I'd love to play that. Puppergeist, I quite like the look of. It's like it's like you're dealing with dog spirits. You're like a witch and you got to help them. And there's got all these cute little dogs in it, and there's puzzles, and there's like a visual novel and stuff. Looks cute, looks fun. Looks like it's probably only a couple hours. Who knows? Looks like a good time. But yeah, mate. I'd like to play Plague Tale Resonance game as much as I'd like to play the other two Plague Tale games I haven't played yet. But one has to be the first one eventually.
Why not the third entry?
Why not the third one, which is a spin-off, Right. Well, that's August. So there's stuff happening in August.
Yeah.
I feel there's elements of stuff.
Get those in while you can.
Yeah, before stuff gets busy and hectic. All right, so Marvel took on Fighting Souls, which, before you get your impressions, just read this story from Eurogamer's to shout out how popular it is. So it just says, PlayStation Network down as tens of thousands of players queue to play Marvel Token Fighting Souls newly launched beta. PlayStation users across multiple only hubs are sharing their own experiences trying to connect to the PlayStation Store. Currently, the top post on the Reddit is titled "Servers Down, Your Account is Fine." The rest of Reddit is swarming with similar posts. The community reports are backed up by Down Detector 2, where the data shows reports of outages for the PlayStation Network spiked starting this morning when they wrote this. Blah blah blah. But basically, and then according to the Steam database, the game peaked at around 22,087 concurrent players. And for reference, all-time peak of Street Fighter 6 on Steam is 31,839 concurrent players. So there is quite a lot of interest across multiple platform fronts, to the point it crashed PlayStation, and Steam demo beta is getting upwards towards the all-time
So people
numbers.
are attributing that to Pokemon Fighter rather than just PlayStation being shit.
Yeah, well, it like the time it went live, and then the Down Detector was like, beta goes live, but so it's either the worst timing in the world, or it's because everyone was on the PlayStation Store downloading the beta.
Okay, yeah, because of course you saw all the comments like, playing into the, everything's going digital, and then you can't even get your digital stuff when it's down.
This happens to anything whenever people try to jump on a digital storefront in flux, and I do think the game is probably looking quite popular. It was also a global beta, so there was people jumping on. I think that there's going to be quite a lot of interest globally for this game. Even for like Japan might not love Marvel as much as the rest, but I mean they obviously like Marvel, but that, everyone assumes it's Western American, whatever. But it's still a massive fighting game from Arc System Works.
Yes, which is have a
one
massive
of the big
pedigree,
dogs.
so why wouldn't they jump on? So
what do you check out, and what are your thoughts?
So I played most of the tutorial before I'm like, this minutia is getting annoying, let's just jump ahead.
Yep, I did the same thing, and I skipped at a certain point.
I got through helping you get all your fighters out and hitting at the same time kind of thing. And then I feel like re-going over things. I played they had part of the story mode available, like the episode with the Amazing Guardians, and they're going for a comic book storytelling idea of there's panels coming up, and then all the characters slowly come along, and then
just to clarify, it does have a full CGI cinematic.
There is a full CGI,
and there is another one at least some point through that, but for the majority, it is these.
For a lot of that, which I found very frustrating because of the pacing of it all, which was incredibly slow to the point where I was just leaving the controller and checking my phone while it played out and that kind of stuff. So that is not instilling me with a lot of hope, because the story mode, a really good story mode, is what would get me into a fighting game. And then just jumping around, playing some of the fights, getting a couple of casual matches online, and that kind of stuff. I don't have enough fighting game pedigree to have a super in-depth thought on it. I just feel it's a little bit, the motion isn't quite there for me anyway. It feels a bit sluggish, just moving back and forth. It takes a lot of effort to get back and forth. But once you start putting combos together and hitting that, and then all the other characters start popping around and that kind of stuff, it's all really cool. So I mean, I don't know if I'll invest $100 in it, but it's very interesting, and I'm keen to see what people who actually are invested in fighting games think of it. I think all the designs look really cool, and the little touches, obviously you make up your team of 4 that you jump into each match with, and each team of 4 has a unique name, and that kind of stuff. I think the setup for why all these people are fighting at the same time, I think, is fine. They've clearly got to just come up with a reason, but I think visually it's really cool, and seeing the tiny details in the backgrounds of I was fighting at the expansion, and there's a bunch of other X-Men in the background, that kind of stuff. All that stuff is cool, but I don't know if it's going to be for me. What about you?
yeah, look, I'm not big into fighting games at all. We talked about this when don't really talk about them a lot on the show at all, ever. I didn't like the comic book stylings in the episodes thing either, and I just started clicking X and like speed reading through them because it was too slow paced. Didn't really enjoy that style. I did enjoy the cinematic stuff that they had. That was quite good.
Stuff is really cool.
Yeah, and even the opening theme song video, anime as fuck. That was pretty cool. I thought I liked that as well. I like there's at least they've got each single player story will explain how the core teams are formed and stuff like that, and it's cool. Gameplay wise, it's I don't know, it feels like a mix between, it feels like a stiffer Marvel vs Capcom to me.
Yeah.
And obviously you can't help but think about that a little bit just because of the multiple characters and tag in, swap out system, stuff like that. But I would agree it feels a little bit heavier. But I'm also like, I mean, I was like, do I know what I'm talking about? Which the answer is no, I don't when it comes to fighting games at all. But considering you're saying the same thing, I guess there is an element of, at least we're both feeling it.
We're both wrong in the same way. Yeah.
We're both either wrong or right. It's either we're both wrong horribly or we're both magically right, even though we don't know what we're talking about. Which is fun. Yeah, so I gave up the tutorial thing as well because I was like, this shit's now I'm struggling to do tutorial, which is a good sign. So I just skipped through that, do some of the episode stuff, dove online, won 1 match out of 5, good stuff. Played around. But it feels like you get your ass handed pretty fast as well. I feel like the health or whatever meter, like you can go out.
You can go pretty quick if you can
go pretty quick.
I don't know if blocking is that great.
I don't know, it depends on the attacks, and I don't understand it. There was a stage there where someone was doing a full combo on me, and I don't know if I just timed pressing back at the right point, but I did block the entire thing, which felt pretty cool, because then I just tacked them back and, completely owned them. I don't say I did that, like, purposely. I just magically, I think, pressed back at the same time. But then there's other times where I was trying to press back to block, and obviously the attacks were breaking through, and whatever. But then I don't know, they were doing ground kicks, and I obviously wasn't blocking those. Whereas I think the person I blocked them on, then kicked their ass back, they just did nothing but medium punches in my face or something, and just so happened to be my lucky day. I like all the character designs. Obviously, I've sort of seen them all before, but seeing them playing out is really cool. Generally, the way the game feels and the presentation and design factor and the music and the levels and the way you like smash through and move through them and characters chase after one another, like all of the cinematic aspects of it is very cool.
Like the opening in character introductions and the players leaving and that kind of stuff, or win screens or whatever you want to describe it. Like they're all unique and cool, and I mean they've used the IP to its maximum, I think. So
I've been intrigued to see how the story plays out a little bit. I guess it's like the champion is going around challenging all these universes or whatever. So it's like that's why all the teams, 4 teams, are allowed to fight. No, teams of up to 4 people, or whatever the rule was. Because of the Fantastic Four, basically, they fucked Earth. That's the way that's. It's like you had these heroes 4, so you only get 4. Even though the last planet they were at 100, whatever. I'm keen to see how that plays out. Do they, I don't know, there's a slight level of intrigue. I mean, obviously, you'll see the ending play out multiple times as you play through different episodes of different teams, and different teams beat him, presumably, or whatever. But I mean, I'm slightly intrigued by the story, at least. I mean, that's about all my thoughts, unless you have any others.
No, I think there's a lot of options, like there are a lot of modes and that kind of thing to like train. I enjoyed that you were able to just, I don't know, beat somebody up while you're waiting for a match to matchmaking to happen and that kind of stuff. So
you've got that the hub in the online matches where you can run around and whatever, and then you jump on the arcade machine to jump into a match. It's kind of cool. Different system.
So I think there's a lot of meat on the bones for players. So but of course we're not the best audience.
No, we're not. I think we're just talking from a very novice,
very casual.
Can this be enjoyed for the Marvel factor, or is it is it only going to be for the hardcore fighting fans? I mean, and obviously Sony wants it to be for the hardcore fighting fans as much as the Marvel fans, I think, to a degree, but they want this also to have short-term effect for the Marvel fans wanting to play it because of the Marvel factor, and then they want long-term it to be this massive sort of esports game that'll do well for them. So
yeah,
they want to hit both ends of the stick there, I think. All right, and then the final shout outs. Jacob put up a review for Fog Piercer that he gave a 7.5. This is like a tactical rogue like deck building game. I don't know. I think that's the way you describe it. On a train. Yep. He said, Fog Piercer is an excellent game that blends roguelike and deck building mechanics. Its challenging gameplay kept me engaged, with each run offering new obstacles and strategies. Plus, it performs seamlessly on Steam Deck, making it ideal for on-the-go gaming. Looks kind of cool, at least as far as the card game thing goes, because we've talked about it before. There's just so many card-based games now, there seems to be.
Mm-hmm.
So at least it's good when you see something that is different enough like this, I guess. Not,
yep.
You know, hey, it's a roguelike where you're going for a dungeon and you have a deck of cards. You're like, fuck's sake, how many is that? So at least that's good. So check out his review on explosionnetwork.com. All right, that will do it for this week. Please let us know what you thought about anything we discussed this week on the show. Send us something to discuss next week by heading to explosionnetwork.com/follow. We can find all of our social links. And if you like the show and would like to support the podcast and or Explosion Network, head on over to explosionnetwork.com/support. And we'll see you here next week, same time, same couch in August. Goodbye.